Every morning, you are handed a choice. Keep repeating the same patterns that are slowly destroying you, or rise above and claim the life you know you were born to live. The truth is, bad habits don't just appear overnight. They are fed every single day by what you allow, what you tolerate, and what you choose not to change. And if you want to destroy them, you don't wait for the perfect moment. You start every morning with power, discipline, and intention. The way you wake up sets the standard for everything that follows. And yet, most people open their eyes, grab their phones, and immediately let the world hijack their mind. Before they've even taken their first breath of clarity, they're drowning in notifications, emails, gossip, and noise. Do you see what that does? It tells your brain, my life is not in my control. My focus belongs to everyone else. That tiny action becomes a trap, and it repeats day after day until distraction is no longer a choice. It's a habit. If you want to destroy the bad patterns that keep you stuck, the very first step is to claim your mornings back. No one can build a disciplined life on a distracted foundation. Instead of grabbing that phone, you sit still. Even if it's just for a few minutes, you sit with yourself and you ask the questions that most people avoid. What am I building today? Who do I want to be when this day ends? Am I living on purpose, or am I just moving through the motions? These are not small questions. These are life-altering questions. Because every day, you're either moving closer to the person you dream of becoming, or you're moving further away. And when you ask yourself these questions in the morning, you force your brain to operate with intention instead of autopilot. That one decision, pausing before the chaos, separates leaders from followers, creators from consumers, the disciplined from the distracted. Think about it. If the first thing you feed your mind is comparison, entertainment, and noise, how do you expect to make bold choices for yourself? How do you expect to break free from the cycle of old habits when you start your day by drowning in the very triggers that built those habits in the first place? Every time you scroll first thing in the morning, you are letting someone else decide how you feel, how you think, and how you act. But when you wake up with clarity, when you direct your focus inward, before you let the world in, you're telling yourself, I lead my life. Nothing leads me. That's where power begins. And clarity doesn't just happen. It's built. It comes from practice. It comes from making the conscious choice every morning to put your energy where it matters. That could mean journaling your thoughts before the day begins. It could mean meditating in silence, breathing deeply until your mind is sharp and centered. It could mean simply sitting in gratitude, reminding yourself of what you already have instead of chasing what the world tells you to want. When you do this, you're not just waking up, you're rewiring your brain to prioritize peace over panic, vision over distraction. You're teaching yourself to approach the day with focus, not chaos. The power of this is bigger than you realize. Because when your mornings are clear, your decisions throughout the day sharpen. You stop reaching for comfort and start reaching for discipline. You stop tolerating old habits because your mind is too focused on building new ones. You stop living in reaction mode because you've already chosen your direction before the world had a chance to pull you off course. Clarity builds momentum, and momentum is how you replace self-sabotage with self-mastery. So, ask yourself, what is one habit that could change everything if you did it first thing in the morning? Is it writing down your goals? Is it sitting in silence before the noise begins? Is it simply refusing to let a screen dictate your first thoughts of the day? Because that one act of clarity, repeated over and over, is what transforms your mornings from wasted hours into a weapon against bad habits. And once you own your mornings, the rest of the day starts falling into place, not by accident, but by your command. Your body is the foundation of your discipline. You cannot expect a weak, sluggish body to carry the weight of powerful decisions. Yet so many people wonder why their bad habits keep winning, while their body is left tired, neglected, and drained. The truth is, energy is everything. Without energy, discipline collapses. Without energy, motivation disappears. Without energy, even the smallest challenges feel impossible. That's why every morning, before the world demands anything from you, you must move your body. Not for appearance, not for vanity, but because movement unlocks the fire that fuels your mind, your willpower, your entire ability to fight back against the habits that hold you prisoner. Think about how you feel when you skip it. The sluggishness, the fog, the heaviness that makes even the simplest task feel like a mountain. That is the environment where bad habits thrive. A tired body craves comfort. A tired body seeks shortcuts. A tired body says, "Give me what's easy, not what's right." But when you push yourself physically, when your blood pumps, your heart races, your muscles stretch, you light up every cell of your being. Your brain sharpens, your mood shifts, your confidence rises. Suddenly, the temptations that once controlled you don't seem so powerful anymore. You've reminded yourself that you are in charge, not your cravings, not your excuses. And this doesn't mean you need a perfect workout plan or an expensive gym membership. That's another trap of procrastination. Movement doesn't have to be complicated. It could be running outside, lifting weights in your living room, or even 10 minutes of push-ups, squats, or stretching. What matters is not how long or how perfect. It's that you start. Because the simple act of moving first thing in the morning tells your mind, I am awake. I am strong. I am ready. And when you do that consistently, it rewires your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who gives in to weakness. And you start seeing yourself as someone who chooses strength. The power of this habit runs deeper than physical health. It's not just about burning calories or looking fit. It's about proving to yourself every morning that you can do something uncomfortable and win. That proof carries over into every area of your life. If you can force yourself to sweat when you don't feel like it, you can force yourself to work when you don't feel like it. If you can push your body to endure pain for growth, you can push your mind to endure discipline for transformation. Movement is not just exercise, it is training for life. And here's what most people miss. When you move your body in the morning, you are creating momentum that carries into the rest of your day. Bad habits feed on stillness, on stagnation, on hesitation. But when you start the day in motion, you tell your brain, we don't wait, we act. That shift in momentum destroys the space where bad habits usually slip in. Instead of lying in bed scrolling for an hour, you're already ahead. Instead of reaching for comfort food at noon, your body is craving fuel for performance. Instead of procrastinating on your goals, you're already in a rhythm of taking action. So when you think about destroying your bad habits, don't underestimate this one simple truth: your body is your weapon. Every push-up, every step, every drop of sweat is a declaration of war against the part of you that wants to stay weak. And the more you choose movement in the morning, the less power your bad habits will have over you. Because you've already proven to yourself, before the day even starts, that you are stronger than your excuses. And that victory, repeated day after day, builds the kind of strength no bad habit can survive. Look around your life, and you'll see a mirror of your mind. If your environment is cluttered, chaotic, and filled with distractions, it will be nearly impossible to build discipline. Bad habits love chaos. They feed on disorder. They grow strongest when everything around you pulls you into confusion and laziness. That's why every morning, you must discipline your environment. You must design your space to work for you, not against you. Because no matter how strong your intentions are, if your surroundings constantly push you toward weakness, you will eventually give in. But when your environment is sharp, clean, and aligned with your goals, you eliminate half the battle before it even begins. Think about it: how many times have you wasted hours because your environment invited you to? The TV remote on the couch, the phone on your nightstand, the snacks on the counter, the clothes scattered on the floor. None of those things are accidents. They are triggers. They silently whisper, stay comfortable, stay distracted, stay the same. And if you let them, they'll dictate your actions before you even realize it. But when you take control, when you intentionally remove these triggers, you cut off the oxygen supply that keeps your bad habits alive. A messy room isn't just about appearance, it's about energy. And energy determines everything. When your environment is disciplined, your mind becomes disciplined. A clean desk makes you want to work. A made bed makes you want to respect yourself. An uncluttered kitchen makes you want to fuel your body with better choices. Discipline in your space creates discipline in your thoughts. And that discipline flows into every habit you build. That's why some of the most successful people in the world start their day by organizing their environment. Because they understand, if you can control the space you live in, how can you expect to control the life you dream of? And this is not about perfection. It's about intention. You don't need a magazine, perfect home to be disciplined. What you need is alignment. If you want to focus, remove distractions from your workspace. If you want to eat better, stop stocking your shelves with junk food. If you want to spend less time scrolling, stop leaving your phone within arm's reach of your bed. These are simple, intentional choices that send a powerful message to yourself. I am serious about change. You are training your brain to see your environment as a tool for success instead of a trap for failure. What's powerful about this practice is how quickly it transforms your behavior. Once you experience the sharpness of a disciplined environment, you'll notice how hard it is to go back. You'll walk into a cluttered room and immediately feel the weight of distraction pressing down on you. You'll see how quickly mess and chaos invite bad habits back into your life. And instead of tolerating it, you'll take action. You'll demand order. Because you know order fuels your best self. This shift is not about being neat. It's about being powerful. It's about refusing to let your environment dictate a life you didn't choose. So every morning, before the noise of the world pulls you in, discipline your environment, clean your space, put things in order, remove distractions that tempt you to slip back into weakness. Because when your surroundings are aligned with your higher standards, your actions will follow. And the more you control what's outside of you, the more control you will gain over what's inside of you. Bad habits cannot survive in a disciplined environment, but greatness thrives there. The words you speak every morning are not casual. They are commands. They shape the way you think, the way you act, and the way you carry yourself through the world. Yet most people wake up and sabotage themselves with their own language. They say things like, "I'm tired. I'm not ready. I don't feel like it." They don't even realize that with every sentence, they are programming their brain to lose. Words are not harmless. Words are instructions, and your subconscious is always listening. If you feed it weakness, weakness is exactly what you'll live. That's why if you want to destroy your bad habits, you must discipline your tongue every morning. Speak strength, and strength will rise. The moment you wake up, your mind is raw, open, and impressionable. It is searching for direction, and it will grab onto whatever you give it. If you immediately tell yourself you don't have energy, your body will follow. If you declare that the day is going to be stressful, your brain will prove you right. But if you wake up and boldly speak words of power, "I am disciplined. I am unstoppable. I am building a life I'm proud of," your subconscious will begin to align with those truths. Your brain will search for ways to make them real. That is the force of language. It's not just talk. It's programming. And if you don't program your mind intentionally, it will be programmed by default, usually with weakness. This is why affirmations matter. Not the empty, forced statements that feel fake, but words that align with your vision, your standards, your non-negotiables. When you speak words that resonate with who you are becoming, you light a fire inside yourself. You remind your brain of the mission you're on. You make it harder. You make it harder for bad habits to take root, because your words are constantly pulling you towards strength. Imagine waking up and declaring, "I don't waste my mornings. I don't bow to comfort. I don't chase distractions. I build." Say that enough times, with enough conviction, and it stops being a phrase. It becomes an identity. And once something becomes your identity, your habits have no choice but to follow. Most people underestimate this because they think words are just noise. But look at history. Leaders have used words to move nations, to inspire revolutions, to change the course of humanity. Words start wars and words end them. Words heal and words destroy. So how could you possibly believe that your own words, spoken to yourself every single morning, have no impact? The truth is, they are shaping the story you live in. And if you keep speaking the language of weakness, you will keep living a life of weakness. But if you master your language, you will master your habits. Because words direct focus, and focus directs action. Think about the difference this creates over time. A person who wakes up every day and says, "I'm not good enough. I can't change. I'll never break these patterns," is building a cage with their own voice. And they'll live inside that cage, frustrated and powerless. But the person who wakes up and declares, "I am stronger than my past. I am capable of change. I am building the discipline to win," is breaking down walls every morning. That person is creating an atmosphere where bad habits suffocate and die. It may not happen overnight, but with consistent, powerful language, the foundation of your life begins to shift. And once it shifts, nothing can hold you back. So every morning, guard your tongue like it is your most valuable weapon. Because it is. Don't waste your first words on complaints, excuses, or negativity. Use them to build. Use them to strengthen. Use them to declare who you are and what you will no longer tolerate. Because when you speak with power, you live with power. And when you live with power, the chains of bad habits cannot survive. Your words are not just sounds. They are seeds. Plant weakness, reap weakness. Plant power, reap transformation. Every morning, you face a choice that defines everything. Do you give your energy to what matters most? Or do you waste it on distractions that keep you small? The truth is, bad habits thrive in the empty spaces of your day. They sneak in when you hesitate, when you procrastinate, when you avoid the very things that could change your life. That's why one of the most powerful habits you can build is attacking your priorities first. Not later, not after you've scrolled your phone, not after you've warmed up with mindless tasks. First. Because the moment you wake up and conquer what matters most, you strip your bad habits of their oxygen. You leave them no space to grow. Think about the difference between a person who starts their day with their highest priority versus a person who starts with distractions. The one who tackles their goals first thing in the morning sets the tone for the entire day. They are already in motion, already stacking wins, already building momentum. Meanwhile, the one who wastes their first hours scrolling or delaying is building a completely different energy, hesitation, weakness, chaos. And once that energy takes over, it controls everything that follows. That's why so many people never break their bad habits. It's not because they don't want to. It's because they keep giving their mornings away to comfort instead of progress. Your priorities are the things that move your life forward. They are the actions that align with your goals, your growth, your future. Maybe it's your health. Getting that workout done before excuses creep in. Maybe it's your craft. Writing, building, creating while your mind is sharp and fresh. Maybe it's your career. Knocking out the most important task before distractions start to flood in. Whatever it is, it needs to be attacked with intensity as soon as the day begins. Because once you do, you not only build progress, you build proof. Proof that you are someone who acts, not someone who waits. Proof that you control your day, not the other way around. What makes this so powerful is how it breaks the cycle of procrastination. Bad habits are fueled by delay. The longer you wait, the louder they get. The longer you hesitate, the easier it is to convince yourself to slip back into old patterns. But when you crush your priorities immediately, you leave no room for hesitation. You eliminate the window where bad habits can sneak in. You create momentum so strong that distractions lose their pull. Because once you've already accomplished something meaningful, the rest of the day feels lighter, more focused, more disciplined. You are no longer chasing motivation. You are building it through action. And let's be honest, there is something transformative about starting your day with victory. It's not just about productivity. It's about identity. When you start your mornings by attacking your priorities, you see yourself differently. You walk differently. You speak differently. You no longer identify as the person who wastes time, who delays, who waits for someday. You identify as the person who acts, the person who moves, the person who leads. And identity is the root of all habits. Once you believe you are someone who does what matters first, it becomes harder and harder to slip into the identity of someone who wastes their life on meaningless habits. So ask yourself this when you wake up tomorrow: what is the single most important thing you can do that will push your life forward? Don't hide from it. Don't push it off until later. Do it first. Attack it with everything you have, before excuses even have a chance to wake up. Because the moment you choose progress over procrastination, you strip your bad habits of their power. And once you make this your standard, not just once, but every morning, you will watch your life shift in ways you once thought were impossible. Every bad habit you're fighting against has one root cause: a lack of self-respect. Because when you truly respect yourself, you stop tolerating behaviors that insult your potential. You stop entertaining habits that pull you down. You stop living beneath the standards you know you are capable of. That's why every morning, before the noise of the world tries to tell you who you are, you must practice self-respect. Not in theory, not as an idea, but as a daily commitment. Because self-respect is not given to you. It is built by the choices you make and the standards you enforce. When you wake up and remind yourself of your worth, you start making decisions from a place of strength instead of weakness. You no longer reach for the bad habit that gives you comfort in the moment, but robs you in the long term. You no longer allow laziness to define your day. You no longer give in to the patterns that keep you small, because you know you are worth more than living on repeat. Self-respect is the voice that says, I will not accept anything less than my best. And when that voice grows stronger, the grip of bad habits weakens. It's easy to talk about self-respect, but it's harder to live it. Living it means setting boundaries. It means saying no to the things that drain you, even when they feel tempting. It means cutting off the excuses that sound good in the moment, but leave you ashamed later. It means treating yourself like someone you are responsible for protecting. Every morning, when you choose discipline over distraction, when you choose growth over comfort, you are showing yourself the highest form of respect. You are proving that you take your life seriously enough to protect it from destruction. Self-respect also changes the way you carry yourself in the world. When you walk with respect for yourself, people feel it. They treat you differently. Opportunities open up, doors unlock. Not because the world magically changes, but because you project a standard that demands it. And once you operate at that level, bad habits simply don't fit anymore. They feel out of place. They feel beneath you, because they are beneath you. The more self-respect you build, the less tolerance you have for anything that contradicts it. That's why this habit is so powerful. It doesn't just change your mornings, it transforms your entire life. But here's the truth. Self-respect is not built in one big moment. It's built in the small, invisible choices you make every day. Do you get out of bed when your alarm rings? Or do you hit snooze and break your own word? Do you eat the meal that fuels your body, or the one that slows you down? Do you spend your time building your vision, or wasting it on distractions that lead nowhere? Every answer is a vote for or against self-respect. And every vote compounds until it becomes your identity. That's why mornings are so critical, because the first choices you make are the strongest signals to your brain about who you are and what you deserve. So if you want to destroy your bad habits, start here. Start with respect. Respect your time. Respect your body. Respect your vision. Respect the person you are becoming. Because once you build self-respect, your bad habits lose their grip. They no longer belong in the life you are designing. And every morning, as you choose clarity, movement, discipline, powerful words, priorities, and respect, you are rewriting your story. You are creating a life that reflects your strength, not your weakness. This is the truth. Your bad habits are not stronger than you. They are only as strong as the respect you deny yourself. The moment you decide you are done living beneath your potential, the moment you choose to rise every morning with discipline, clarity, and power, that is the moment everything changes. Respect yourself, and your bad habits will destroy themselves. This is not just about mornings. It's about claiming the life you were always meant to live.